beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, I missed you guys so much. It's been a whole week. Or, yeah, it's been a whole week, I think. Oh my God, I miss y'all. Couldn't wait to get back to you guys. But what I could wait for was doing this review. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It was just off to me. And it's so funny because I actually watched it in real time, which normally I don't do. But since I was at the hotel and they had it. I watched it and I was just like, what am I watching? It was very disjointed. Like the whole thing was weird. Am I alone in thinking that everything that happened on this episode was just weird? And I still don't understand. I was just like, what's happening here? Like, honestly, it was so much talking around things and I don't know. We'll get to it. So let's talk about it. All right, so the episode starts with a series of text messages from Renna to Erica, and we hear, Renna doing like a voiceover talking about how we all know the idea of Kathy Hilton, but we don't know the real Kathy Hilton. And I'm gonna tell you guys what I don't like about this whole episode and what I don't believe is Renna. I just don't believe Renna because she puts 20 on 10 with everything. Everything she says is just so dramatic. And I'm like, girl, you are not in the soap opera right this second. Like, calm down. What are you saying? Renna is so irritating. Am I the only one? Like, the way she put it, listen, we gonna read these text messages, okay? I got in the sprint with Kathy and she had an absolute meltdown. I've never heard or seen anything like it in my life. Anger, screaming, throwing things, crying. I'm locked in my room. And Erica says, OMG. She never seen anything like it, crying, screaming, throwing things. Didn't she throw a glass or something like that? She was screaming at, what's her name? Kim Richards. Like, didn't all that happen? And it was actually Lisa Rinna that was doing all that? Are you kidding me with this? That's what I'm saying with the drama of it. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like it in my life. I am literally locked in my room. What does she think Kathy's finna do to her? Like, oh God. All right, let's keep going. All right, so she ends the text messages to Erica saying the hatred that just came out for her sister. And Erica's just like, wow. And I'm like, oh, I even feel like this is planted, you guys. I feel like, can Kathy act a fool? Yes, we saw it actually. We saw it firsthand when she was mad at Renna, who was actually poking her. She was doing crap on purpose. And I know I've watched some reviews where they said, "Oh, I don't think she was doing it on purpose." No, Lisa Rinna did that shit on purpose. She be knowing exactly what she's doing every step of the way. She did it on purpose. All of this. Oh my God, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. It's like candy. It's the best tequila I've ever had in my life. Like she was ridiculous. So yeah, she was poking her. We saw she reacted. She overreacted. And I think if something did go down in this club, and from what they said, she wanted to do the little conga or whatever. I think I'm jumping ahead, but it's fine. Let's just talk about it. She wanted to do the conga line or she wanted to do something and nobody wanted to do. So I feel like everything just came back. The whole fact that she asked them to do a shot with her and they said no. Like everybody is just treating, I won't say everybody. Kyle and her crew are just treating her like crap. And she is finally fed up. So she got super irritated and was ready to go. And she probably had a temper tantrum, yes, stating that Kyle, wasn't ready to go because they had just gotten there and she was pissed off about that. And yeah, I do believe that she's used to getting her way. So it's like, no, if I'm ready to go, let's go. And if Kyle said no, that's a problem for her. I get it. And I believe that. And it's just weird. We're going to go through it, but I watched the review where they read, I can't remember, I think it's a Bravo fan page that was saying something about how we all know what we heard she said. We heard she said a homophobic slur, and they are just talking completely around it. So the fan page was saying that this is basically Kathy, being able to influence people because she's a very powerful lady. So they say that she's super influential. I would agree, or I can't say agree. I would imagine that yes, she is very influential. And she got them to cut all of that out. And that is why this whole entire episode came off very weird. And after they read that from the Bravo fan page, and again, this is just somebody's opinion, but it made sense. And I was like, okay, that makes more sense as to why We got no real answers. We got no footage, no nothing. Like, when is it that Bravo is nowhere to be found? They're still out, they're still filming, but there's nothing on film. Now, I understand they can't do anything in the club, but no cameras in the Sprinter, no microphones anyway. Like, I'm just not believing it, because we were recording all the way up into this huge event happening. Now we got to take Renna and Erica's word for it? Absolutely not. So anyway, Kathy ends up sending a text to Renna saying, silence is golden and I'm staying silent. So, okay, fine. You guys, so the episode starts off technically with Renna and Kyle, and they're getting ready to go back to LA, and they're talking about, she's talking about how her face is so puffy because Renna was puffing on something. And I'm like, is that something? And it's all I saw was the word boost, and it was over her lips and stuff. And I'm like, is that pumping her lips up or something? Like, what's happening here? But they're talking about, how they're so puffy, and Kyle said her eyes are puffy from all that crying. And Renna's like, what? When were you crying? Now, let's try to remember that, because later on, and I'm going to jump all around, you guys, because this shit was just all around, so it's fine. Renna later on is going to say how mean she was to Kyle and how she was really going in on Kyle, and she was saying all this stuff or whatever. Now, by this time, even if Kyle wasn't in the room, I'm pretty sure Lisa Renna told her that didn't make her cry at all, because she said no, she was crying in the place with the hats, and she was crying when she talked to Erica, but nothing like, oh, what went down last night really was a lot. So yeah, I was really crying. I cried all night. My sister said she's going to take me and the whole family down. And no. And even them talking about the fact that she's not flying back with them, it wasn't a big old, oh my God, I'm so scared of her. For her to be locked in her room, remember? Oh my God. No, it was just, oh, is Kathy not flying back with us? What, did she say that? No, well, she's in her room and it's dark. It's nothing until they get in the confessional. While they're in it, it's not a huge deal. They're not making a big deal out of anything. But in the confessional, it's, oh my God, my sister doesn't want to ride back with me because she's super upset and all of this happened. And then we have Renna. Y'all, this is some bullshit. And shame on Kyle for co-signing all this stuff. Again, I'm not saying I don't believe that anything happened, because I do believe that Kathy probably lost her shit. She probably just got fed up, and again, she's very spoiled, entitled, used to getting her way, and when that didn't happen, she probably really did lose her shit. And she may have even said a homophobic slur. She may have, but for them to act like it affected them so much, like they've never been around anyone who's been racist or had any sort of, come on. I mean, are you kidding me? These people are ridiculous with the, oh my God, I don't know what I've just heard. I can't believe what I've just experienced. Really? All right, so they're on the plane or the jet, sorry, and they're being served their food, their alcohol, and everything. They said they're gonna have Bloody Marys. Kyle never has them, but she will have one. And Renna, everything this whole entire episode is gonna be, well, what we went through, what we've been through, we definitely deserve what we went through. No, Renna, apparently you are the only one who went through anything. You are the one that's acting super traumatized by another lady having a meltdown when you definitely just had a meltdown at Dorit's house. What, maybe it may have been like a week prior to that or what. Like, are you kidding me? Renna is so ridiculous, you guys. But anyway, Erica, excuse me, fresh faced and everything, turns to Sutton just out of nowhere, like, I just don't want to fight with you anymore. And I just want us to be okay. And, I blow up and I get real evil. And they're like, yeah. And Sutton's all teary. And Garcelle is so funny. She was like, are you crying? And I'm like, yeah, girl, are you crying? Because how many times has Erica apologized? And then later on, out her mouth, in your face, said, no, I didn't mean it. No, I don't really like you. No, I was just being phony. No, I was just lying. Like, she's literally said that to her. So how many times are you going to be fooled by this? How many times actually are you going to even care? Why do you still want to be her friend like that? Like, you're crying because this lady apologized, saying, oh, I hope it's really sincere this time. Girl, Sudden, bye. Bye, okay? All right, so Mauricio ends up asking why Kathy isn't on the plane. He said she wasn't, or he didn't see her rather, at the house when he went back, I guess before they left. And she's like, oh, well, maybe she's still sleeping. So we get everyone's account of what happened. Sutton said, this is where she said she wanted to do the Congo, whatever. Nobody really wanted to do it. So she got upset and was ready to go. And she told Sutton, if you don't come home with me, then you're not my friend. I can see that. Crystal said she saw something. She don't know what she saw though, but how bad could it be? Listen, I've known Kathy the longest here, besides her sister and other people, but longer than some of these girls. And how bad could it be? So Crystal just doesn't want to say anything. Basically, she wants to stay aligned with Kathy, and okay, that's fine. Diana, from what we can understand of what she said, she's just like, I went to the bathroom, and then when I came back, I just saw her like exploding and just really raging all over the girls, especially Kyle. And here's my thing: if she's raging all over Kyle, once again, Kyle didn't give a shit because she didn't cry. It didn't make her cry the way when Erica was mad at her. That made her cry. Erica hadn't even really said anything to her. She just wasn't speaking to her. That made her cry her eyes out for an entire day. But her sister raged all over her because she was ready to go and Kyle wasn't. And Kyle did not give a shit. You guys, she didn't cry. All right, so Dorit says, finally, Kathy's asking everybody to leave. Renna says, come on, I'll take you home. And I'm like, wrong person. Wrong road, Kathy. Wrong road. That is the wrong person to go with. She already don't like you. You can tell she don't like you. She don't care about you wanting to go home. This is what comes from going home with Renna and the fact that nothing has been recorded. So Renna says they get in a sprinter and she's like, I'm going to take down NBC, Bravo, this whole show. I'm taking down everybody. And she's cursing and she's going off. And she's like, I can't even repeat what was said. I'm like, well, you're doing a really good job at repeating what was said verbatim per you. So y'all don't even understand how much I cannot stand Renna. Y'all don't understand. And then I saw, who was it? Kempire had a thing. I didn't watch it, but the title of the video was Lisa Renna wants like 2 million to come back next season. And I'm like, we don't want her back. Can we give her 2 million not to come back at all? Like, we don't want Renna back. Honestly, she brings nothing but dumb drama. Like, melodrama, like soap opera drama that's not even real. It don't even come off as real because she's so over dramatic with it. Oh my god, it's just so terrible. Everything that has happened. Kathy said she's gonna ruin us. She's gonna ruin us all, I tell you. Oh god. All right, continuing the story. She said when they got home, it was even worse. She takes off her glasses. She's stomping on them, jumping up and down, I guess like a cartoon, saying, she's so mad. She's banging on the wall. I made Kyle. I'll take her down and her whole family too. And then she says, if it's the last thing I do. And then we hear the music like boom. She has done too much daytime TV. I swear to God, it's not even warranted. We don't even need all this for real. But that's her reenactment of everything that happened. And for some reason, again, she is so scarred. And Kyle don't give a shit. Like, you keep hearing all of this or whatever that she said about you, and you don't give a shit. And then Renna says something like, she feels like Kathy is jealous of Kyle because of who Kyle is and what she has, and she's richer. When did Kyle become richer? Like, honestly, when did Kyle become richer, and when would Kathy, and why would she be jealous of Kyle? Honestly, like, who is Kyle? Kyle is absolutely no one. So Renna has lost it. All right, next thing we have with, I think it's Erica and Dorit going to this candy maker to make a candy bar or whatever for, what's her name? Crystal. Her birthday's coming up, and they are doing combined gifts. Okay, fine. Who cares? All right, the only memorable part of this is Erica telling Dorit, or Dorit telling Erica that Kyle, had some things to say about her taking accountability or being empathetic, at least. And she's like, come here. And she's talking in her also her soap opera voice. And she's like, the person who has the most is, I can't even remember what she said, but it was crazy. So basically, she's saying she's tired of being the whipping boy. Is it whipping boy or whipping board? I honestly should have Googled before I asked, because is it whipping boy? I don't think it's whipping boy. Why would it be whipping boy? Hold on, I'm finna Google it. All right, you guys. So I am showing my ignorance. I have Googled the whipping boy, and it's so funny. My daughter was like, that's racist because, yeah. But guess what? Whipping board isn't, it isn't a thing, number one. They call it a whipping post, I guess. But it's, yeah, the definition is where a post which offenders were tied to in order to be whipped as public punishment. All of it is racist to me. So maybe that's a saying that we should leave alone. The whipping boy, it really is a thing. That's what it was. It's a boy who I guess was getting whipped and getting blamed for everything. But I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. So we'll move on. All right, so basically, she's saying she's coming after somebody, and Dorita's like, if you got something to get off your chest, just say it. And they're like giving each other these looks, and for real, it's honestly like soap opera ish, where they're not saying anything, they're just giving looks. And she's like, who are you talking about? And she got this little smirk on her face, and Erica just raises her head and does this look like, and then she's like, oh boy. So in the confessional, Dorit is saying how Kathy is hyper elite, and I actually thought she was talking about Kyle until she said, Kathy. And I'm like, so basically everybody's after Kathy, and their whole crew had this thing to come down on Kathy, basically. Once Renna had an issue with her, once Kyle was not defending her sister at all and treating her like crap, then they all want to treat her like crap. Now, I've watched reviewers that said that Kyle is probably jealous because Kathy came on last season as a friend of, and people really liked her. And I'm like, girl, she should have just held on, because that was before we really knew or really like investigated Kathy and knew that Kathy is Kathy is very cunning. So I'm not putting anything past Kathy, honestly. I just feel like it didn't have an effect on them the way that they're saying. And I really do believe that she probably had something to do with the fact that we're not getting the full story out of anybody. All right, I'm not going step by step like I have been doing, because I am 15 minutes in and I've basically just been talking, telling the whole show anyway. So I'm not going to go step by step. And again, it was very disjointed and all over the map anyway. And this is basically what it was all about. They go to the party at Crystal's house, and basically Renna, Kathy comes like nothing happened. Renna act like she saw a ghost, and oh my god, I can't be around her, I'm so scared of her, and all of that. However, she didn't leave. She went into the other room, and all of them went into the other room until the other girls left. How crazy was that, huh? So it ended up being Erica, Renna, Dorit. Was Diana there? I can't remember. She's so forgettable. But they waited until Cherie, Garcelle, and Sutton, they waited until the others left, and then it was okay for them to like really talk and really be. Why did y'all say I was leaving so the other ladies can leave? Like, I'm so irritated with these ladies. But it was all the same, more of the same, talking about Kathy in circles, and it really gave nothing else whatsoever. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Hold on. All right, yeah. So I just checked to make sure I wasn't leaving anything out. The only other thing that's worth mentioning is the fact that Garcelle's outfit was super cute with the. Sorry, you guys, but we just live here, so it's okay. It's my baby, but the outfit that she wore to Crystal's birthday party, and the fact that Cherie signed her gift. And I'm like, nobody want to get this girl a gift, huh? So everybody went in on a gift. Nobody wants to give Crystal anything at all. Hilarious. But other than that, that's really all that happened here. So I'm really hoping that next week is better, because I didn't get a whole lot out of this week except for a lot of confusion. So maybe we'll get something, cleaned up. You guys let me know what you thought about the episode, if it confused you, if you understood a little bit more than I did, or if you even liked it. Maybe you guys liked it. I don't know. But let's talk about it in the comments. And again, I miss you guys. Yay. All right, so yeah, if you guys are still here, you are the real MVP. Thank you very much. If you have not already, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches.